The Architectural Review Board of the Town of Southampton now come to order. I am required to make the following statement. Welcome to the May 4th, 2021 meeting of the Town of Southampton Architectural Review Board. In accordance with the Governor's Executive Order 202.1, we will be proceeding differently from our typical meetings. Until further notice, all of the board's meetings will be held remotely via video conference. So we ask the public to continually check the town's website for updates and new information. The link to participate in this meeting via Zoom can be found on the town's website. This meeting is also being live streamed on the town's website. If you do not wish to speak at the meeting, but you would like to submit comments for the public record, the link to submit comments can also be found on the town's website. This concludes the required comments. Mr. Rump, the Vice Chair, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Rump.
Very welcome, Mr. Chairman.
Right, Mr. Jankowski, the Board Secretary, would you please perform the roll call?
Mr. Rump, Mr. Burke, Ms.
Here.
Keith, and myself and Mr. Chairman. So we have a full board.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Mr. Jankowski. We have a quorum. Did the board members review the minutes of the April 20th, 2021 meeting?
Yes.
And if they did, were there any errors or omissions?
No.
All right, if none, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you. And is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Okay, is there any old business to come before the board? If none, then we'll proceed with the published agenda. We have a sign application, and this is at 2510 Montauk Highway, Bridgehampton. And would you please bring up, Ms. Shamoon, would you please bring up on the screen the documents for this application?
Is there any
Nobody gave me anything. I don't
Okay.
see anything on the F drive.
I think the applicant's representative is here and they can probably share.
Oh, who is
That
that?
would be awesome.
You know
There was a comment in the chat, I believe. John Ricotta, is
Okay,
that correct?
he's coming in now.
Okay, well, Ms. Shea, the Assistant Town Planning Director, would you introduce this project to the board, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know anything about Landco, and I think that's the building permit referral.
Start your video, John. There you go.
It is, okay. Okay, hopefully Mr. Ricotta would have something then.
You can just unmute yourself. One more time. There you go. All right.
Okay, I apologize.
No problem.
We thought we were presenting today, so we didn't send any documentation other than what was filed with the building department. I'm hoping I can share my screen here.
You can.
I'm not sure if you, let me just see what I can do here. I just emailed, but I don't know if the file was too large.
You can share.
I just emailed what the presentation was to Ms. Shawman.
You don't have access to her email right now.
Okay. Can you see my PDF?
You just have to click share screen at the bottom.
Sick. Here it is. Okay. I didn't have any of these before. Let me just do that. Okay. How about now?
Not yet.
Okay. Try one more time. Oh, here we go.
Hit that green button.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Share. Hold on one more time. Okay, I see it sharing, but it won't let me share. Here it goes.
There it is.
Okay,
Well,
Okay.
you're sharing your Zoom.
okay. Can you see this now?
No, you have to go back and yeah, I'm gonna okay. When you hit share, it's gonna ask you what you're sharing. You want to share your desktop. So you want to bring the picture that you're sharing up on your desktop. And then when you hit share, you want to tell it to share your desktop.
Here we go. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. I apologize.
No
Thank
problem.
you for your patience. So the project is we are building a new medical office at 2510 Montauk Highway. It is the first floor. We have the entire first floor of the building. You can see it's on the corner of Montauk Highway and just short of Lumber Road, I believe here on the right. The building has an actually a portico, which is what will be our main entrance, and that is where we're proposing to put the sign. So here's the presentation, or this is what we're proposing, our sign. It is just a 1/8 inch thick metal panel. And it is over the existing entrance. So this is all here already, the 2 columns with the portico. And I don't know if you have the sample colors that I had submitted with the application. The sign itself is 110 inches across the top here, and it is about 18 inches high. So we pretty much are inserting it across this band here. Again, it's 1/8 inch metal panel, aluminum. It's an etched lettering with painted colors. So we have our NYU purple in our logo, and then the black lettering for the medical practice name. And the panel itself is aluminum. Just give you some pictures of the building. Here's the front of the building. The sign would go right across here. An existing sign for a tenant that is currently on the 2nd floor. This will be our main entrance. Just a little,
You can see something.
just a closer. Can you see the photos?
Yes.
Okay. So the sign would go right across the band right here. Just another close up for you. Just different angles. And again, we're just putting it across the front here. Just another angle there. We're leaving the 2510 address. We're not going to change that.
Something is here or not.
This is the back of the entrance, the back of the building, and they have another sign. We're not proposing any signage here because we want our patients to walk to the front of the building and enter that way.
Okay, just wanted to clarify one thing. You said that it's a metal sign.
It is the plaque, 1/8 inch metal. It's aluminum panel.
Okay, the reason I'm asking that is because in the sign code, it does state should be wood or wood appearing.
Okay. Well, we typically have a brushed aluminum panel for our signage. If we had to, I guess another option would be to do pin lettering and just put it directly or apply it directly to the wood band.
Okay, yes, because, well, that is the sign code.
Okay.
And everyone else is adhering to it, but okay.
But we were actually, I'm sorry, because this, the existing sign, I don't know if you can see it here, is a white panel, which appeared to be metal. So we were kind of looking at that same type of feature there.
Well, I mean, unless I'm corrected, and I'd like to have our ARB attorney come in on this. I think that all like metal signs, unless it's wood appearing,
Mhm.
are not up to code then.
Okay.
Ms. Doyle, could you?
I believe you are correct. I mean, I have to actually review the code section, but I do recall that it does have to be wood or wood appearing.
Okay.
So it would not to, if you wanted to do that, then you would have to get a variance if you wanted to try to do something else other than what's stated in the code.
Okay. So if we actually, what we could do then, the other options I just mentioned would be to, let me just, I'm sorry, make you dizzy, is to make we basically would do our cut raised lettering. And then we can apply it right to this wood panel. So it would be the white background. And then if we go back to the sign presentation here, it would be the white. So instead of seeing the aluminum or silver, it would just be a complete white background. Our purple logo would be right there. It would be pin letters directly into the wood panel, and then the name would be cut letters directly onto that wood panel.
Okay, Ms. Doyle, would that suffice according to the code then?
If it's wood appearing, then that would be fine.
Okay. All right, well, anyway, I just interjected that. Does that conclude your presentation?
Yes,
Okay,
it's just
well,
the one sign that we were proposing to put right over the entry building.
Okay, Mr. Rump is the lead board member on this application. And would you give us your comments and decision on this application, please?
Mr. Chairman, I don't have any issues now that the aluminum panel is removed and seeing the letters applied directly to that fascia board above the front door. I don't have any issues.
Okay, fine. Mr. Jankowski, comments?
No, I'm okay with the pin lettering into that above the opening. That's fine.
Okay, Ms. Keys, comments?
I think it's fine. Wait,
Okay.
as long as it's wood, of course.
Okay. Mr. Burke, comments?
I was okay with it. I just didn't know if we were going to have them or require them to remove Bridgehampton on the wording on the sign, but I didn't know if that was necessary. But otherwise, I'm okay with it.
Okay, and I'm going to go with the lead for the area on this. Now, I believe that this, we're going to have to vote on it. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve as revised.
Okay, and do I hear?
Letters to that fascia board above the door.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rump, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jankowski. The motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, fine. The next item is a holdover site plan review. Ms. Shea is here. Mr. Rump and Mr. Burke have to recuse themselves on this. Is that correct?
True.
Correct.
Okay, fine. There is, this would conclude the agenda. So once you got, both of you are off, we can, there's enough board members, we can adjourn the meeting after that.
Okay, very good.
So, and thank you for your participation,
All right, thank you.
both of you. Thank you.
Peace and
Thank you,
love.
everyone.
Right?
Can I just ask one question?
Yes.
Do I need to resubmit any documentation that shows the pin lettering?
Yes, you would just do a drawing and that would go to Mr. Rump.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. And that would just be a follow-up to the approval, correct? Before,
Correct.
do you need that before the permit is issued?
I believe they do.
Okay. Okay, we will definitely send that immediately. Thank you very
Because
much.
there is a, Mr. Rump has to do an approval letter. It's actually a form. And once you send it, the revision will be attached to that.
Okay, thank
So,
you. And I
okay,
can
thank you.
email it to Mr. Rump directly?
if you can, or to Ms. Shimon, and she'll send it to Mr. Rum.
Okay, thank you very much.
Right, thank you.
Making notes, appreciate it. Have a good day. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, the next item on the agenda is a holdover site plan review. This is 2044 and 2102 Montauk Highway. This is known as Bridgehampton Commons. Ms. Shea, the Assistant Town Planning Director, would you introduce this project to the board? And then
Sure.
I would like to also have Ms. Doyle give us actually what the board would like to have to change the, I guess it's the whole sign regulation for Bridgehampton Commons.
Is it this?
Okay, Ms. Shea?
This?
I'm sorry,
Is that this?
do you want the old side regulations? Is that what you asked?
No, what we've done is, well, then I'll have Ms. Doyle come in.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
The board, of course, has discretion here, but based upon the discussion at the last meeting, it appeared that the board had no issue with the change in color. But what I gathered from the discussion was that the board had an issue with the logos as far as not being subject to review. So if I understand it correctly, the board would like to see the master sign plan revised to include a provision that any sign with a proposed logo would have to be reviewed by the ARB and planning board regardless of the store size. So if the board would like to comment on that to make sure that that is what I understood correctly.
Okay, yeah, that is what I had discussed with you, and that was the gist of the other board members. Mr. Jankowski, comments on that?
No, that sounds what you asked for.
Right. Ms. Keys, comments?
You're muted.
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, Ms. Keys, you're muted.
Sorry.
Okay,
No comments at the moment. Looks fine.
okay. Then, Ms. Shea, is this in line with something that could be possibly done then?
That would be your recommendation to the planning board.
Yeah.
And the planning board can consider it. And if they feel differently, they can override you, obviously, but they need 5 out of the 7 members in order to do
Right.
that aspect of it. So is it clear that you're okay with the green and gold? But if it includes a logo, you'd want to review that. Is that correct?
That is correct, because we, in the past, have seen it. If you just give them carte blanche, you'll never know what you're going to get up there.
Okay. And the applicants, so there's a couple of actions going on here. We, at the last meeting, talked about the master sign plan itself.
Mhm.
For the smaller units under 8,000 square feet. That was what the ARB had discussed. That's what so at this point, we're talking about the master sign plan under the 8,000 square feet. So that's the feedback you're giving to the applicant. They may want to address that issue now, or do you want to go into, then go on to the signage itself? Because then some of these units under 8,000 square feet have logos. So you'd review those individually. That would be a next action. And then, of course, we haven't discussed the units above 8,000 square feet, which want a prototypical color. And then we just would review those individually also. So that's another action.
Right, and one thing I'd like to ask you, let's just take, for example, TJ Maxx.
Do you want to pull it up, try to pull it up?
If you wish, because I don't see them wanting
These
to
are the
go with
signs.
gold and green.
Okay, and then I have to share the screen.
I think if you just hit share down there, you should be able to get to your
Oh,
Okay.
What do we see now?
who is
Maybe.
this? Cutie.
Nothing? Yourselves?
We see a dog, a puppy.
Oh, that's
Very
great.
cute.
Oh, that's the wrong screen to
Well,
share.
stop sharing, I guess, and then
Yeah.
we'll go back. Sorry, sometimes you have so many things open.
Okay,
Stop share plus.
share,
Yeah,
share screen,
yeah, try it
This-
again, then individually do it. See what happens.
screen, and
And
then
then
I
hit
think of
the screen too, maybe.
Yeah.
And then share.
share.
Let's see what happens. How about that? You see it? The
Yes,
Petco?
this is
Yes. Yeah,
Petco.
we do.
And is it moving?
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay,
So you
Okay.
wanted to go to the TJ Maxx?
Yes, that one in particular.
Okay, should be further on. These are the initial ones. Yeah, there we go.
just want to go back, make sure I'm there.
Okay, this is, in particular, the reason I picked TJ Maxx is I'm wondering whether they would go with the gold and green or want to keep the red.
The applicant can address that, but I think their preference is this red proposal.
That's what I thought too.
Good morning. This is Doris Ennis from Kimco Realty. I just wanted to provide some clarification on the diagram that you're referencing. So we have two distinct signage here. We have for the uniform, which is the smaller tenants under 8,000 square feet. And we also have prototypes, which you're looking at, which is TJ Maxx. It's for the larger tenants over 8,000 square feet. So what you're seeing here is that the existing sign is a powdered blue, and we're proposing to change it to red, not green and gold. That's for the smaller tenants. Does that clarify your question?
Yes, definitely.
Great.
So then all of the ones over the 8,000 square feet can pick their own, say, color.
Correct, as long as it falls within the criteria.
And that would be reviewed by the Architectural Review Board.
That is my understanding. So I wasn't on the previous call, but the issue that was addressed was logos, correct?
Correct.
And you're saying now that you would like to review the logos on the larger and smaller tenant side signs, as well as the planning board. Is that the determination?
Correct.
Okay. That should not be a problem.
Okay, because since you were not on the original, well, the previous meeting, which I believe that was the original meeting on this.
Yes, I believe that was the initial meeting with this board.
Right. We have held many of the signs regarding logos to a certain standard, and we're just reflecting that in this application also.
Understandably.
Can I have a comment here, Mr. Chairman? This Timothy McCully, 41 Meeting House Lane in Southampton for Burke and Sullivan. I just want you to understand something, that there are logos on certain tenants within the subdivision, or within the Bridgehampton Commons already. We're not going to lose those logos. That they're already been approved. If you want to look at logos going forward, that's one thing, but it's pretty interesting that you just had a hearing on the Langhorne site and nobody mentioned the logo. Everybody said, oh, I'm wonderful with it.
With what? Now, this was not with this board, though.
Just the prior application for NYU Langone, you allowed them to use their logo on the sign.
Because it was discrete. You have some logos that are not discrete.
Yeah, well, we've already agreed to limit the size of the logos to 25% of the sign, so nothing's going to be outrageous here.
Well, we've seen a couple that we've had some issues with already.
With this
To
shopping center,
clarify, yeah.
Excuse me?
with this shopping center right now, what's proposed in the package?
Yes, One of them was the pizza store.
That's existing.
Do you want to bring it up?
Okay, well, one of the things I don't understand, you said that these were all approved. Who approved them?
Building department.
We're not, hold it, we're an independent board. We are not the building department.
Yeah, but you can't, if somebody's got a sign with a logo on it, now we want to change it to the green and gold, and you're saying that you want to review that logo and whether you're going to take it away or not?
Look at what is in the code. The code states that the Architectural Review Board will review signage.
Yes, but you can't take away what's already there.
This is what we're saying.
Yes, if it's incorrect, we can, and we will probably go after NYU for that other sign.
Whatever.
Well, just to come to an understanding, I think that there's a distinction between existing signage and signage going forward. There's a few signs that are existing with existing logos, and you're proposing to, at this point, revisit that. Is that the intent?
Look, I think I would like to refer this to our ARB attorney and go over it. You're stating that they were approved. I want to know who approved them. You said the building department. We're not part of the building department.
Understandably, we can definitely review the existing signage, but I was just trying to get an understanding of your thoughts going forward.
Okay, we're not against logos. We just want them more discreet.
Understandably, and I think that's why we applied that 25%.
Well, that's
to the
just
signage.
size-wise. I've seen smaller, like 15% logos that really do not fit. I'm not talking about in the Bridgehampton Shopping Center, but in other areas.
Yeah, we can definitely go through each sign if you would like and go through that review process. But the intent is not to remove existing rights from tenants at this point. We were just trying to, create a master sign plan that would create criteria for both the smaller signs and the larger tenants to create some consistency. The big picture is that we wanted to refresh the center and provide more legible signage. The center doesn't have a directory, so we wanted to create more visibility within the center.
Right.
And then another issue is that we also wanted to attract credible tenants that really want branding, and we've lost potential tenants due to the existing signage. So that's the intent of the master plan update.
Fine. Now I'm going to just give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody on their logo has a picture. We do not allow pictures to be put as logos or on signage.
So
It
that
could
would be to your discretion.
25%.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do about that?
So are you looking at our plans? Are you looking at
Should we
a particular
share it
one
again?
that you
No, I'm just
wanna-
giving you a theoretical example
Oh,
of
okay.
the way it is, your sign regulations are written, that they
Okay.
can put a picture up there if it's at least 25% and it's their logo.
Well, we can always adjust, accordingly. And at the end of the day, it's up to your discretion whether you'll approve it or not. We just wanted to create some consistency.
Wait a minute, that's all we're asking for is whether to
Right.
approve it or not for the ones that are there. You're making a font and color change on some of these signs. When you make a change on a sign,
Mhm.
it's like it's never existed before. You have to go through the whole process.
Understandably, but if you look at our proposed signage, it's pretty consistent with what is existing as far as the uniform signs. And
Can we
when
look at each plan right now?
yeah, we should look at it, because I think if we,
Get your initial comments, so if we need to go back to one of the stores, we can right now.
yes,
Well, keep in mind when you're looking at these, that we've agreed to stay within the color palette that the town has.
I guess
So-
go to the green and gold first. We haven't gotten.
Go all the way to, I guess, 1, which is the pizza.
Okay, this is not the one we saw. There was
You saw
another,
this we saw this last meeting.
yeah,
So the existing is below, and then the proposed green and gold is the top.
okay, there was another sign.
We can go through them.
Okay, so you're okay with this proposed sign?
I have to go to the rest of the board.
Okay,
I'm one
Do you
vote.
want to go through each sign now and just start from the beginning?
It's just the signs with the logos. You
With
would
the
be
logo,
approving
right.
them now.
Right.
And if you have a problem with them, you would tell the applicant what the problem is, and then they could adjust it, and then you'd be approving the ones with the logos. The ones that are green and gold with lettering, that would be part of the master sign plan. You think it's normal. I mean, we could go through each one, but that would be your
I
fine.
think if we go through each one, can we just look at each one that has that logo, Claire?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then kind of, I think we can
Yep.
maybe make a general, like,
Yeah, we'll
answer,
make
maybe.
notes.
You know what I
Number
mean?
one,
That's a good idea.
Rather than
pizzeria.
doing one, let's look at all of them. Because
That's a
I
good
just
idea.
have one comment when we start going through them, but I think once we get all of them, then we can kind of see, you know, how many there are and what we're talking about, and then make a final decision.
There's not many.
so number one, which is this one, which is the pizzeria. Are you okay with this sign? With the small?
Okay, wait a minute. I'll go through Mr. Jankowski comments.
Yeah, I mean, I want to look at it, what I was getting at, then go to one of the other ones. Like, we can go back. I'm not going to sit here and say like, all right, I'm going to approve that, and then I got to make another decision on another one. I want to look at all of them so we can kind of get a general like decision and say, okay, the logos are muted, you know, they're not too big. I want to look at all of them. I don't want to just sit here and go through one or the other right now. So, I mean,
Yeah, I agree with you, Mr. Jankowski. Let's do that. And we do have a time constraint today on our meeting.
all right, understood. So if we can go to the next one.
I think we're actually okay with the time constraint because.
I have a time constraint. I have a meeting at
Oh,
11.
you do?
just so you know.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So let's start going through all of them.
Number 2,
Okay,
Go ahead.
that's number 2. 3,
right?
All right, so hang on 1 second. Right, see how that, like, the original one didn't have that, and then they're adding one? I think that's where the chairman was getting, like, upset with the fact of adding the logo. So you understand, like, where he was coming from with that. So go ahead, go to the next one.
4,
Yep. Go ahead,
5,
go ahead.
6,
6, okay.
7,
Yep,
okay.
now that one I've seen. Okay, go ahead.
8,
Yep,
9,
yep,
Okay.
10.
Yeah.
11,
yeah, see how that's added also? Okay, go ahead.
12,
Okay,
Yep.
13,
all right,
14,
okay.
15,
Yep. Added, yep.
17,
Okay.
18, 19,
Yep, with the check mark, yep.
21, 22.
Well, That's
All right,
getting
then that's
into a
it. That's
larger
it for the
one.
small ones.
These
So
are the 8,000
Those are-
square foot.
yeah, let's
So-
not, let's just stick with the smaller ones for right now. So,
Go back to the
just my
beginning.
comments as in general, I just wanted you to understand that's where Michael was coming from because some were added. So when you actually go through, you see the pictures, you see some didn't have it. I think they're muted enough. I don't mind the colors, and I don't think they're in your face as far as like the pictures or even just the things that were added. So I'm okay with them having it.
Okay, Ed,
That's my comments.
then would you want to review the ones with logos on an individual basis?
I mean, if we want to go one at a time, I'm okay with those 20 we just went through for the small ones. There's nothing that I want to change on any of them. I think they look okay. I was just, I guess, sticking up for you where you know, some were added, the AT&T one, but some had it like the Dunkin' Donuts and the pizza guy. Because I'm
Right.
on Google Maps right now and I'm kind of looking, but they showed it. Some didn't have it and now they're adding it. I think still with the color, the way it's going to look, I don't think the logo is obtrusive. You know what I mean?
Right, and well, one other thing is not only these, but the ones going forward, I would wish the ARB to approve any that have logos.
Well, I agree. I don't think we can just have it where if a new business comes in, that they can be allowed to just put their sign up? What's it going to take? Come to us, look at it and say, yes, it's good.
Right, and that's it. Okay. Ms. Keys, comments, please?
My only problem with it is that, as the lawyer was pointing out just now, once you give everybody a logo, then everybody else gets a logo. So how confusing is it going to get if we don't have a general rule for what the signs look like? So, I mean, once any of these are allowed, it just becomes a mishmash. That's my only comment.
Right, and that's one of the things we want to avoid.
Right.
What the ARB wishes to avoid is what you said, is having a mishmash. And that's why I would like to have the ARB review everything.
Right, because once one gets a logo, as this lawyer has pointed out, that means that it's not fair that the other one doesn't. So if that's the case, then it becomes really up for speculation and for legalities.
Mm-hmm.
I understand your comment, and I think it's coming from a great place. I mean, we don't want a mishmash as well. I think that's why we added that 25% to the signage to create, some consistency. But with that said, we are giving them the right. They don't necessarily have to act on it. By incorporating that language in the signage language, we're giving them the rights to put a logo, but they don't necessarily have to act on it. Maybe they choose not to have it.
But what you're saying, we should trust you to do it exactly perfectly, and you're giving options that go through us.
That's why, you mentioned you wanted to have that to your discretion to review it, and that's what we want as well, because we don't want a mishmash.
Now, I'm going to just add one other thing in there. Mm-hmm. You've got a Verizon sign, and this is a minor point, and the sign looks fine. But the prior sign just had Verizon. Everybody knows Verizon. They added a check mark on it.
Correct, as with the other national tenants that have, a logo.
All right.
It gives them the right to have that check, not necessarily to act on it, but that's one of the things we were talking about, we're losing potential tenants because they don't have that branding.
Okay, now I'm going to mention something. You said 25%. You take that check mark, and you realize 25% of that sign, how large that check mark could be? 25% is 1/4 of the whole sign.
Well, if you want to negotiate on the percentage, that's fine as well. I mean, we're open to your guidance.
Well, that's what we're asking for, that we have the oversight or whatever to go over and every one of them. But I'm also wanting even the existing signs that you have, that they had logos. Maybe some of them are too large.
You're saying the existing signs that have logos right now, I didn't catch that.
Well, some of them, we would like to review every single one of them, but not en masse right now.
Understandably, but I guess our concern is that we wouldn't want to strip the tenants of existing rights. I mean, that defeats the whole purpose.
Well, all right, we're not saying we're going to take away the logos. We're just saying we're going to make it look a little cleaner on some of them.
If, yes, that can definitely be negotiated. We just don't want to, we were trying to make it better for our tenants. We're not trying to turn around and say, okay, now we're going to take away what you already had for the last how many years. We just don't want to go down that path.
Right, but there are any of these green and gold signs up now?
No, if you look, we've presented the existing signage under. So you'll see what's existing on the bottom and then what we're proposing on the top.
Yes, no, I understand.
Mr. Chairman, the reason that none of them are up is because we're in the process of dealing with the planning board And one of the things that the planning board wanted was they didn't want one green sign going up and then a delay on the other ones. They wanted it all done at the same time.
Right,
We
consistency.
agreed to do.
Well, fine, we can do this. We can provide time. Like I said, right now, we're under a time constraint. But, I mean, we can do this in a meeting, maybe the next meeting we can do it. And we would like to have all of these sent to all the board, to the board members to look at ahead of time.
Kelly, didn't I forward it to you and you forwarded it to the board?
I
No,
did.
we just got the old regulations. We didn't get the drawings, or I didn't get them.
That was attached to my email.
Well, they went.
Yeah.
Do we have color chips?
Yes,
We
have-
do.
We've provided samples as well.
Yeah, we have them. We can take a picture of them and send it to you.
All of the colors are gonna fit within the palette that's been approved by the whoever, okay? And we've agreed to that, and we've agreed to put up the green and gold signs all at the simultaneously so that there isn't a mishmash of different color signs while, you know, you put up 2 signs and then wait for the next 6. They're supposed to go up all pretty much simultaneously. And you should have a package of these signs, and we sent them.
And whatever you need, we can always resend them.
So
Good, yeah, we'd like to have the,
So
of the signage. You could send it digitally. I mean,
you have received them, and I'm sorry
was-
you didn't open your email, sorry.
It was
But
sent.
I will give you the color chip too. And
Okay.
we will resend them, when I get back to my desk, I will resend it to everybody. So everybody's got it. Anybody doesn't receive it by tomorrow, let me know and I'll get it for you. The
fine.
color chip, I'll take a picture of and I'll send it to you. So I think I'm hearing the board is on board with the master sign plan with the logos to be reviewed. If there are no logos, then it's administrative and the building department can issue a permit for them, right? That's correct?
Well, I would still, I think, yes, we'd like to review the logos. I would still probably like to look at just an overview of the signage.
All the
And will you be-
signage is attached to the document that was sent to you,
Yes.
all of it.
And we'll be
Before and
reviewing
after.
the
Okay.
prototypes as well.
Now, let me just ask one other question. What happens when we have a new tenant coming in? Would the ARB be reviewing that?
Under 8,000 square feet with green and gold, with no logo, would go to a building permit only.
Okay,
Under 8,000 square feet with a logo will come to the ARB for, this is your recommendation, we'll go to the ARB first for approval, 25% or less. And that would, you would approve it and then it would go to building permit. This is what your recommendation is with the master sign plan.
right.
That's how
Okay,
far
now,
we've gotten so far. Yes.
What is the new regulation on the lettering though?
The lettering would be 2 types of letter that's consistent with the town code.
The town signage code,
Correct. You're allowed up to 2 types of letters.
you're right. And what about percentage of the sign
25% is, the size of the sign.
size?
They have a size requirement that is spelled out in the master sign plan that was also sent to you.
Okay. All right, fine. Then send it to us and then we'll go
Could you
from there.
look at the larger store signs really quick?
Yes.
I don't think so. You could go to the smaller ones since we just discussed them and maybe get them to approve those, but let's not go to the larger ones right now.
Could we
That's
just
a
look at
different animal.
the initial comments though? I mean,
They don't want to.
okay.
So when will the larger signs be addressed in the next meeting?
We can do
Does the
that.
board want to take a look now with the last couple of minutes and just see how far you can get just to give initial comments, or? It's up
Okay,
to
we'll
you,
give
Mr.
you
Chairman.
additional comments on it. I mean,
Yeah. So, I
okay.
mean,
Mr. Jankowski, this is regarding just the larger signs. Would you comment?
Yeah, we did get the email because I'm scrolling through it. So that's where my eyes are looking. So we
All right.
did get the email. We got the master sign plan stuff. It's like
Well-
8 pages and we got a 3-pager.
Okay, I didn't get it because of problems, anyway.
So yeah, so the larger signs, so this is bigger than 8,000. These are big, big stores. So it doesn't look like, it looks like they're getting, pretty much their national logo looks to it and the colors is what it looks like. So it
Correct.
looks like the big ones have, so it distinguishes them. It's not the small stores, so you can kind of see them. The majority of them are red. So I really don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with it. I think it would look good in there. Because it definitely needs a little sprucing up. So I'm okay with the big ones as they are.
Okay, that's it. Ms. Keys?
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not sure the red and green, the red and yellow, I mean, the red in my eye really clashes with the green and yellow. That's my only issue with it. I think it looks, it doesn't have a really good flow color-wise. I think the blue is better with it. I think these reds next to a green look just uncomfortable.
Well, the reason why we have green and gold on the uniform signs is because we wanted to match the monument sign for the center. And that's why we created
I really
consistency.
appreciate why it got there. I'm only saying that that's fabulous. In the end, the red sign next to a green and gold sign don't really have a pleasant flow.
They're gonna be on 2 different planes. Most of the red signage is actually located above the fascia where the green and gold signs are, and most situations they're located a significant distance from the green and gold sign because it is the center of the larger 8,000 plus square foot store. So they're not gonna be immediately next to each other necessarily or even touching.
Correct.
And it does make it so that you can immediately identify the larger anchor stores, which are a lot of times what are drawing you to that shopping center.
Okay. For any further comments, Ms. Keys?
No, that's it.
Okay, my comments are, I'm against too much static. So I do not mind the differences in the larger stores being a different color. One situation, I might be able to handle Ms. Key's comments or objection to it is could reduce the size of the signage. And if there is a clash, like with the red, possibly that could be muted or a different color red, but it could still fall within the same family. I do understand where you're getting at, but it might be far enough away. That's something we'd have to look at.
Yeah.
That's part of the package. If you look at the overall,
Can I share my screen?
Sure. Can you stop sharing? Okay,
Sure. That. Okay.
thanks.
Can you see this? This is a view of every elevation of the shopping center with the proposed anchor stores and then the smaller green and gold signs. So in this top row, that's the Staples back area. So you have Staples on the left, then you have what store that is, but right there is the smaller green and gold sign.
Yeah.
And then you move further down and then you have Ulta, and then you have the smaller, I think it's, I don't know what store is there, but then like the Panera Bread store is on the end.
But this is exactly what I meant. Just,
here you have-
I understand that they're in different places, and this is what I meant. So
Right, you have an Ulta, which is
all I'm saying is, for me, these colors still clash, and and I'm not saying that they're not bigger or smaller or further away or different. When you look at it like this, I think it's it's not effective for your clients either. But that's just my opinion.
I think the client should be making that decision, not you.
I'm not saying I'm making the
Well, wait a minute, hold it. Hold it for a second. Tim, would you rephrase that?
I'm just saying that whether it's good or bad for the tenant is up to the tenant. Okay, I can understand that you think the colors are going to clash. That's a comment that's well within your prerogative.
Thank you.
But I think you should take time to look at the signs that are in your package and the overall elevations of it. And keep in mind that the colors that are being proposed are colors within, the palette. And we reduced that, and that should be in the package. Claire, is that in their package, the palette?
We have the package, but anyone with any design sense understands that, yeah, those are approved colors, but it depends on, you can take a green and you can take a fuchsia, put them together, and it's going to look horrible.
Well, here's my point, and I'd like you to keep it in mind when you're reviewing this. It's not like this is a shopping center that when you're driving by, you see it. You have to go into the shopping center in order to see these signs. So it's a little different than if we were on a street and we were having all different kinds of signs.
But you have the general public there, and that's what we're entrusted to do. So.
All right.
Anyway, okay, fine. We will review the emails, and then we will confer with our ARB attorney on the wording on the regulations, and we'll just put it on for the next meeting then.
Okay, when is the next meeting?
May 18th.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, fine. Then we'll just adjourn this until the next meeting. Charles, is there any comments from the public on this?
There is no public.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
Members, when you're reviewing the package, if something's not clear to you, just let Claire know that, and she can communicate, and we'll get something to you that helps you with your decision.
Yep, just let me know if you guys need anything for the next meeting,
Yes.
okay?
Just resend.
I will resend everything to everyone,
I've
and just confirm you receive it by tomorrow, and then I will get you the color chip, so you have the green. You know what gold looks like, right? So just the green, right?
Just put the PMS color or
Right.
whatever it is on there. All right.
And
Okay,
Claire, you
no
have these
problem.
elevations, correct?
Excuse me?
Claire, you have the elevation diagrams as well?
Yes,
No.
that was all part of the packet.
Okay, great.
Great.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. That concludes the items on the agenda. Is there any further business to come before the board? If not,
Thanks.
a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
second.
Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?